And Myron, I really cannot get into this damn
You
purse.
live.
I'm live?
Yeah.
No, I'm not live.
Oh no, you're not. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, you live. It's
I'm
live.
live.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
I told you
Sorry,
to get up. I tried to tell you to hurry up.
I'm trying. We have a good show planned for you today. I mean, I got a lot of stories. I have not been on in so long. I do apologize. But YouTube has kind of changed a lot. It's changed a lot. And people don't go as live anymore, like consistently like we used to. That's because the pay dropped. Well, for me, that's why I don't do it. But anyway, we got a good show. We're gonna talk about Tyra Banks, the backlash she's getting from her what do you call it? Documentary. We're gonna talk about Floyd Mayweather being broke. We're gonna talk about 50 Cent. He's just annoying now. I cannot. We're gonna talk about Clarissa Shields, Chrisean Rock. We're gonna talk about Snooki. You just learned that Snooki had cancer.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
used to like her too on Jersey Shore.
And we're going to talk about Eric Dane. They used to call him McDreamy from this TV show. What's the name of this TV show? The Sandra. Oh my God. Grey's
Oh yeah.
Anatomy, from Grey's Anatomy. Very sad ending. The message that he lost to his kids. We're going to talk about Candy Burris. And I'm not getting up until I finish all these stories, because what end up happening is I'll say, well, I don't really have that much to talk about today because it's just one story. Then I'll miss the story and then end up not doing the story. So I'm going to sit here for as long as it takes. I hope it's not over an hour, and go over all of these stories. Perry, anything you want to say before we get started?
No, I thought you had retired.
He thinks he's
I
so
quit.
good. Hold on, my lights. I didn't even turn my lights on. Hold on 1 second. Thought you retired.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
There. Oh boy. All right, let's get started. So we got a lot to talk about. Okay. Let's start with this Tyra Banks situation. And I'm sorry, I knew for a whole hour I was going live. I just stayed on the phone until it was too late, and then I can't get my makeup done. Anyway,
Before you get into that, somebody asked, now what the Snooki has?
cervical. Let's talk about that first, really quick. Cervical cancer, stage 1. She seemed, I wouldn't say positive about it, but she seemed to be thankful that she caught it stage 1. And she just went in for your regular pap, and they discovered it. She said she was the type of person that never had pap smears, that there was always problems with her pap smears, but she didn't think this. But she said she sounds like she's gonna be fine. She's still got to go through surgery. Cervical, oof.
Yeah,
That's in
prayers
a
out to
heart.
her.
Yeah. But it's stage 1, so she's 38 years old. Let me read this article. The Jersey Shore star. What is that? It says, do you experience? Oh my gosh. It says the Jersey Shore star, 38, revealed her stage 1 cervical cancer diagnosis on TikTok, on a TikTok video, Friday, February 20th. That was yesterday. It says, obviously not the news I was hoping for, Snooki said after revealing that she recently had a biopsy, but also not the worst news, just because they caught it so early. Oh my God. Snooki then reminded the viewers to get their pap smears, as the annual test is what found the cancerous cells in her cervix. That's so good that they caught that early. That's in a hard place. It says a pap smear involves collecting cells. We know what a pap smear is, but yeah, I actually saw the video. So she's nervous, but very hopeful. And she should be hopeful because at least it's stage 1. Thank God.
Yeah.
To me, she's young. 38, that's young. If you, you know, the older I get, the younger I think what people being young is.
It's
But
not just
anyway,
it's not just you. When you said 38, I'm thinking, man, she's a baby. But shit, when I was 18, 38, I thought it was time for you to go to the upper room.
I can't, Perry. I cannot. Let me see if I can do this really quick. All right, so we got to get into this Tyra Banks video, and we got to do it now. Okay, so let me say this before I go into the whole story. So Tyra's getting a lot of backlash. Okay, people are calling her a narcissist. People are saying that she is hard to work for. They're saying all kinds of stuff about her, right? And that may very well be. But let me say this. I don't know how to say it. A lot. So I have my own opinions, just like everybody else. And a lot of times, how I feel about a situation is not the popular way to feel about a situation. A lot of people, you know, like Chrisean, like if the girl wants to find God, let her find God. What is wrong with y'all?
Right.
Okay, if you don't think something's wrong with the baby, then, you know. So with this whole Tyra Banks thing, I understand what you guys are saying. You're calling her a narcissist. You're saying, you know, the show was more important to her than her friends, the Jays and Nigel. But let me tell you guys something. And I get that. So I hear what you're saying. Yes, very much a narcissist. But people don't understand, number one, how Hollywood is. It's the most corrupt place there ever is. It's show business. Okay. When you are a business owner or a producer, you're responsible for everything, right? And a lot of times I found myself when no matter how nice I am to my employees, I could be so nice. Perry paid for one of them to not work for 6 months to go to school. He paid for the education. You know, we treat them like family. No matter how nice I am to employees, when it comes firing day, because what, I got to take care of you the rest of my life because we get along? No. Right. I'm allowed to make any business move I want to make. But when you make that move, they get mad. Every single time. I could treat someone like their family because that's how business is, okay? They're going to get mad. And I got into a huge argument today with my sister over Tyra Banks because I'm saying, listen, Hollywood would chew you up and spit you out. There's no sympathy over here. You think Tyra Banks is the only person that's a narcissist in Hollywood? No. Hollywood is no joke. She's a Black woman that had a successful show. Now, did she do everything right? No. But the Jays was going to hate her no matter what happened because they didn't want to get fired. And I just feel that, yes, she's got a lot of flaws. But what she did was hard to accomplish. But you know, people are saying she put a bad image out on how people look at their body. You think that Tyra Banks is the only one that's going to say you look fat today? On my other channel, we were talking about models being models in the daytime and then doing what they do at night to make their money. So it's a mess. But anyway, did you want to say something before we get into it?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is my take on it. And I don't want to go too far with what you're saying that, yes, she has made mistakes, just like everybody else do, made bad choices. But what gets me is everybody want to say, come down and put all this blame. This show ain't been on for years. All the blame on her and saying that she's not accountable. No, is she taking full account? No. But she might not be telling us who actually made some of these decisions. Because you got that Nigel, Miss J, J Emmanuel, or whatever, you know, the judges. They use this documentary to come out there to try to portray one notion that Tyra ain't shit. That's why they don't have a relationship. But however, I've been around too long. That is not why you don't have a relationship. If she don't like you, and people said in a few minutes ago, well, Miss J had a stroke and she haven't went and seen him. The thing is this, people, we don't know exactly what it is, but Tyra was the face of that show. She didn't run that show. She didn't make all the decisions. So when things happen, but when you get clout chasers on there that want to just ride off your dime, and when they get dismissed, they get angry.
Yeah.
They ain't telling you the full truth. I don't know what the full truth is, and Tyra is tired of talking about it. It's like the reason why she probably didn't go to Miss J's to see Miss J is when a friendship is over, people, sometimes it's over. Like, I'm sure you had a lot of friends in high school. Some of them could have had a stroke last week. Did you go and see them? Typically not. When that friendship is gone, their relationship is gone. Now, it could be due to her fault, but I don't think it's all her fault, just my opinion. She could have had something to do with it, but those guys had something to do with it too. Just my opinion.
I'm just saying, I'm speaking from experience. Show business is not where you make friends. Don't think these people are your friends. I had to do things differently too, because when I was treating people like they were family and then it was time to go, they were suing me and everything else. Let's go word by word. So the most important thing out of everything that was said is they said that Tyra was a narcissist. She could have saved their jobs if she wanted to. She did a lot of things on there wrong, like the making the white people dress in blackface. But the most important thing that what it boiled down to is Shandy. Do you guys remember Shandy? I remember it like it was yesterday. Shandy had an affair, slept with one of the other male models, told her boyfriend what happened, and everything kind of fell apart in her life. During that, and I remember it like it was yesterday, she never said that she was ARD. Okay, but now it's coming out that she said she was ARD and that they made her do the show anyway. And then let's just listen to it and we'll stop. Here we go.
Any reservations or fears, or was it an immediate yes?
It was an immediate. Can we have a long conversation on the phone? That was, and I got on the phone with one of our executive producers, Jason Beekman, and he was just so passionate and really wanting to bring the celebratory vibe to the table, but ultimately saying we want this to be a big discussion. And I said, I hear you, I feel you. How about tea? And I said, if you want an answer right now, it's probably gonna be no. That was my answer. And he said, I'm in New York in 2 weeks. Can we sit down? So we sat down. What was supposed to be an hour tea and talk was 3 hours. I could really feel his energy. I knew Netflix was very interested at this point. Like everything was ripe and ready to go. They needed to know if I was signing on board. And at that time, I said to him, I am going to take a leap of faith because you're the first person that I actually feel wants to have a real discussion. Because in the last 5 years, we were approached probably at least twice a year by major networks or studios saying, we want to do this. And I always got this feeling it was going to be a takedown piece. And I don't think that is the right attitude to have. I don't believe in takedown culture. I don't think the show should be taken down. And I don't think Tyra needs to be vilified. And he was just so passionate and
how do I pause
really wanting.
So right there, he's full of shit. He said he doesn't want this to be a takedown piece. Then he starts to bash her. Everything is Tyra's fault. But you didn't complain while you were working on the show. You waited till you got fired. And now she's the worst person in the world. And this was the worst thing that ever happened to you. See, what people don't understand is business and pleasure and personal friendships do not mix. They don't mix. Because when you're the boss, eventually you're going to have to make a decision that they don't like. And really, from my own experience, being a business owner, you could be so nice to some people, they're still going to get mad. And they always feel like you have to take care of them for the rest of their life. Just like that lady that just went off on Beyonce the other day. The girl, you better make this right because your father has back problems and can't work. Now it's Beyonce's fault.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. If it was that bad, why didn't you quit before? So you're saying this is not a takedown piece, but it's a takedown piece. You couldn't wait to get your revenge on Tyra Banks. Now, are the things that you're saying right? I'm sure that they are. But people need to understand Hollywood is a vicious place. Tyra's not the only narcissist in Hollywood. After doing these e-files, you deal with all kind of corrupt people. That's why they say never mix business with pleasure. And I don't think people understand that, because when you're the employee and you're on the other side, it's easier to criticize and down somebody. But what would happen if the tables was turned? There comes a time that people come in your life for a reason and a season. People don't understand this. Business relationships are not true friendships. You guys always hear me talk about these bloggers on here. It's not real friendships. It's business.
Right.
And what blows my mind is you never complained while you were working there. In fact, some of the models were saying you were part of it too. I think it's enough blame to go around here. You're not perfect. And, I'm sorry what happened to Miss J. He had a stroke and all of that stuff, and that's bad. But that's Tyra's fault too. No, There's enough blame in this situation where everybody's hands is dirty. Let's keep going. You can tell me to stop when I have to. So He says he doesn't want this to be a takedown piece, and then he begins to take her down.
To bring the celebratory vibe to the table, but ultimately saying we want this to be a big discussion. And I said, I hear you, I feel you. How about tea? And I said, if you want an answer right now, it's probably gonna be no. That was my answer. And he said, I'm in New York in 2 weeks. Can we sit down? So we sat down. What was supposed to be an hour tea and talk was 3 hours. I could really feel his energy. I knew Netflix was very interested at this point. Like everything was ripe and ready to go. They needed to know if I was signing on board. And at that time, I said to him, I am going to take a leap of faith because you're the first person that I actually feel wants to have a real discussion. Because in the last 5 years, we were approached probably at least twice a year by major networks or studios saying, we want to do this. And I always got this feeling it was going to be a takedown piece. And I don't think that is the right attitude to have. I don't believe in takedown culture. I don't think the show should be taken down. And I don't think Tyra needs to be vilified.
Look, he just said he don't believe in takedown culture. Look, dude, you living in a glass house. We can see right at you. We looking right at you. That's what this is all about. And this is what I'm saying. I just feel like he wanted to ride Tara's, basically eat off Tara's dinner table because he ain't got no food on his own, right? And now he's upset because since she's been gone, he ain't went nowhere neither. So now you want to come out here and act like your hands was clean. All y'all was on that damn show together. Mm-hmm. Yes, she done wrong. We saying that, but nobody's saying that the other three aren't doing anything wrong. Y'all just as bad and probably even worse. Riding off her coattail, but then on the show trying to outshine her. And it's a reason why she ain't talking to your ass, and it's a reason why she ain't gonna call you back. You, Miss J, or Nigel.
Nigel.
But go ahead, Sherelle.
Ooh, you feel like they wanted to outshine Tyra.
Think about it. And because people don't understand why she's like, well, I just feel like a lot of pressure on the show because we had to do more and more to outshine the last show.
Right.
They treated those models like shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Almost like when Diddy had those people making a band, walk 5 miles for a donut or a cookie or whatever it was, right? They would get more outlandish. So if you had a good show last week, how are we going to outdo it next week? You're talking about the girls' looks. You're doing this, being mean.
Yeah.
But you want to just be seen.
Yeah, and I mean, Tyra got the big head.
But the part they're leaving out, so did they. They started to feel like they was the show, and the shit happens on YouTube too. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Going.
At all. So that I finally felt the confidence to step into this. And when Netflix greenlit this right away, Tyra didn't even know about it. I think that's what people don't know, is that Netflix was ready to tell the story with or without her participation. And what was great about that was they assigned the directors, Moore and Daniel, who are known for their journalistic integrity. And I'm a geek, so I was the person who was like, really? This is who's doing it? Because I'm familiar with their work. Yes. And basically they gave us the space that it felt like a safe space to just really answer questions and express how we felt. And I'm forever grateful for that.
In the doc, Tyra, she speaks about the challenges that, you know, the criticism, and she essentially kind of blames the viewers.
We kept pushing and we kept creating more and more and more. You guys were demanding it. The viewers wanted more and more and more.
Are the viewers equally to blame for some of these creative choices that were being made?
My honest answer is I believe Tyra believes that statement to be true. When it comes to Tyra taking some form of accountability, genuine accountability around some of the things that went on the show, look, that's up to her. I don't know if she's really ready to go there, because in general, Tyra, I know her, and I mean this with just so much love and support because I want her to get there. I think she has a hard time really looking at herself. And people who don't even know Ken and Tyra as a relationship and how they ultimately bonded as this kind of united front, people are starting to see the two of them are very coordinated, even in this doc, with, you know, incredible documentarians working on it.
So he wants Tyra to take accountability to the things that she did to the models, pushing them to the edge, yelling at them, cutting their hair when they didn't want it to be. You were there too. And you and Miss J and Nigel is just as guilty. Why, if you were so upset about it and it turned your stomach, and Tyra's such a narcissist, why didn't you say that then? You turned a blind eye. One, either you were down with it, or two, you were too scared to speak up. Which one was it? Y'all all acted terrible. I cannot believe that he bring his ass on here and acting like he had nothing to do with being mean to these models, because we know how Hollywood works. We know what's going on. We heard the rumors, Miss J. Emmanuel. You were in on it. You would laugh when Tyra would come up with the ideas. You forgot that part, didn't you? Y'all wanted to push him to the edge. You forgot that part. Y'all brought in Janice Dickerson to be as mean as she could possibly be because y'all wanted her to be the Simon Cowell of the show. You forgot that part. See, what I don't like is on Mad Day, once you fire somebody, because what you expect Tyra to carry you for the rest of her career? At what point don't you take a credibility? You didn't have a bad word to say about her until you got fired. Then you say she didn't stand up for you enough. Listen, and I tell my son this all the time. This is what I was talking to my sister about, is that in the work environment, there's no such thing as a friend. You be hanging with people, those are your coworkers. Don't forget it. Don't forget, if you get relaxed and you start thinking this is your real friend, well, what happens on firing day? I can't believe she did me like that. Listen, nobody is designed to work on one job forever. But y'all didn't have y'all hands clean either. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tyra is a narcissist, but Hollywood is full of them. That's why they say it'll chew you up and spit you out. What did Tupac say that one time? Trust nobody. Trust nobody. All these fake friendships that y'all got going on. Listen, I was raised in Southern California. They as phony as they come. You're only good as your last movie. These people ain't really your friends. And you knew that, Jay. Stop acting like y'all was so tight and she just did you so wrong. You benefited from the show also. Let's keep going.
I mean, I can't say I know for a fact, but I know them very well. The two of them definitely coordinated how they were going to come to this documentary and speak. The episode 2 where Shandy, she's like, oh, first of all, she struggles to remember it, which I find hard to believe because how many times did she bring Shandy on her talk show?
You remember the story with Shandy? You okay? Cheated on me? I'm not head of story. That's Ken Mock.
Yeah, nice try. The other thing
Nice try. You sure this is not a takedown? Are you sure, Jay Emanuel, this is not a takedown?
Yeah, because he said he didn't
put the dagger in the back every time she turns around, but you're only telling her part. You didn't forgot to tell her about the partying. See, the only reason we know behind the scenes is because we're bloggers. You forgot to tell how y'all was acting like y'all ran that show too. You forgot to say your part is it when all that shit was happening, you were right there encouraging it, saying what you thought was a good idea and what you didn't think was a good idea. But now all of a sudden, everything falls on Tyra. And she's coordinated behind the scenes with the other producer, Mock. Y'all went in there like this was high school. Come on, you got away with a lot of shit that you couldn't have got away with a lot of other shows, but you was feeling yourself too. Y'all thought it would be a better show. Every time Tyra act a fool, there's footage of what you did too. This is what I don't like on Mad Day. Listen, Hollywood is full of vultures. The minute you start believing these people are truly your friends, you'll get effed in the end. And if you're looking at it from Tyra's point of view, you could have gave him the world. You could have changed his life, gave him the most money he ever made. The day that you had to fire him, none of that mattered anymore. And they will come after you till the end of time. They'll talk about you like a dog. They don't talk about the good shit. You never were on television before. How about that part? How about she pulled you out of nowhere because she remembers you being a good makeup artist?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't like. Hollywood is phony, phony, phony. But it applies to any business situation. If you are the owner of a company and you got to be the boss, the day you can treat them as good as you want. The day you got to fire them, and you can say it in a very nice way. Perry gave somebody, put them through college, put them through school, and here's $14,000 cash. The day he had to fire him, that's why now I realize, this is business. I never, ever, ever talk about my employees no more, put them on camera, put them out there, help them start. No, they don't even talk to me anymore. You got something to say to me? Go through Perry, because this is work. This is business. And at the end of the day, everybody's worried about their own career, period.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep going.
Now, you can't mix the two. I mean, and the reason why you can't mix business, and I say, and relationships, or maybe even a coworker, why you can't mix them. Because when it come down for something bad happening to you, if it's a business decision to be made, it's going to ruin your relationship if y'all not in agreement of the business decision. And I think what possibly could have happened is he's throwing blame on her that she could have took a pay cut so they could have kept him around. That is not her responsibility. That's not even a responsibility from a friend if they really was your friend. You expect her, in order for them to keep y'all asses, is to take a pay cut. And if you was in her shoes, you wouldn't have took a pay cut neither, because that would have meant you was a star, which you really wanted to be. And now you just out here trying to troll her for some damn attention. But I don't feel sorry for you. All y'all was in this shit together. And maybe you should give her a thank you for giving you that opportunity to be on the show as a makeup artist. Won't you show some accountability? Accountability, everybody's saying it. Nobody's taking accountability, not even the 3 judges. But go ahead.
Also, too, Tyra Banks is a Black woman in a male Jewish dominated field. They ain't handing out TV shows to Black women. As a matter of fact, y'all know what's going on now. We see less and less Black films. We see less and less Black documentaries. They trying to get us off the air and take us back to the 60s. Did she even get any kind of accomplishment on that? Like, what you did, the impossible. You made a Black show successful as a woman. Can you give her credit for that? Let's keep going. Am I stuck again? Hold on.
I would say is that, she's saying, well, I wasn't involved in story. I'm not here to debate or again, convince anyone of anything or change anyone's mind. But I will say I was there. And Tyra was definitely learning day by day from cycle 1 from Ken Mock, who has worked in this world. And Tyra was all in. So when it came to that Shandy moment, I would.
So here's the Shandy moment, which was the most important thing of the show. This girl, the part that we seen on television, had a boyfriend, told the boyfriend she would never cheat on him, got drunk one night and cheated on him, right? Now the deed now she's saying that that she was AR'd, and it supposedly happened in the shower, right? And not only was she AR'd, she said Tyra forced her to work through it, right? And they weren't allowed to talk about it. And then Tyra brought over the guy the next day. And they blame all of this on Tyra Banks. But what I seen was a girl very, very scared to tell her boyfriend that she did the unthinkable. Let's just listen to this.
Was with Tyra. We were in the production office when we found out what was going on at the girl's house. Shandy's having sex in the shower with a guy. I was like, wait, what? Of course they were going to figure out how ultimately they were going to play this on the episode. And I do say in the documentary, there was a different cut of that episode before the network censors clamped down after the Super Bowl incident with Janet Jackson. That episode was recut to a safer version, which aired, which is still heartbreaking to watch.
I just want to let my boyfriend know what happened, but I'm so scared.
Just please tell me what you did.
I was hammered. I think I had 2 bottles of wine by myself. I didn't even feel sex happening. I just knew it was happening. And then I passed out. The next day, I woke up and was like, what happened last night? And I just sat there.
Now you have to listen to her allegations. She said she passed out and things was happening to her. You're saying that you were AR'd and everybody there knew about it, saw it, and allowed it to happen. Think about what you're saying, Shandy. That they let you get AR'd and you didn't go to the police. You didn't even tell your mother. You didn't tell your boyfriend. You told nobody that you were AR'd, but they knew, and it was the secret of the set. Then after that, you go on Tyra's show, her talk show, you don't bring that up. You never brought it up until the documentary. Hollywood is a dirty place. It's a dirty place. You got narcissists there. You have liars there. You got everybody pawning for clout. So you and Jay Manuel and the 2 J's and Nigel said that Tyra knew that you got AR'd and watched. Nobody did anything about it. And they, not only did they not do anything about it, they brought the artist back in the next day. And you were forced to call and invite him back. I don't know what happened. You very well could have been AR'd. But the allegations that everybody watched you get AR'd is very, very serious. And you did lie to your boyfriend. So why didn't you go to tell somebody? Why didn't you go to the police? Why didn't you tell your boyfriend? Why didn't you say anything? If everybody sat there and watched, This is what you said. That they just watched you get hard. Let me keep going.
Yeah, the cameraman filmed it. Can you go back a little bit? Because I want people to see this again. Go back to right to where this incident is supposed to happen. Because I want people to really look at it and tell me if you feel like she got hard.
Tyra was definitely learning day by day from cycle 1 from Ken Mock, who has worked in this world, and Tyra was all in. So when it came to that Shandy moment, you know, I was with Tyra. We were in the production office when we found out what was.
He just said he was with Tyra when he found out what happened. So you knew what happened too, right?
Was going on at the girl's house. Shandy's having sex in the shower with a guy. I was like, wait, what? Of course they were going to figure out how ultimately they were going to play this on the episode. And I do say in the documentary, there was a different cut of that episode before the network censors clamped down after the Super Bowl incident with Janet Jackson. That episode was recut to a safer version, which aired, which is still heartbreaking to watch.
I just want to let my boyfriend know what happened, but I'm so scared.
Just please tell me what you did.
I was hammered. I think I had 2 bottles of wine by myself. I didn't even feel sex happening. I just knew it was happening. And then
Can you stop
I
it?
passed out.
Now, see, this is my thing. Somebody just said, oh, well, she was drunk and she didn't give consent. I think they all was drinking, even the males that was at the house. He could have been drunk too. Did you see her smiling in this shower or whatever they was in? They was having a good time. Now, I wasn't there. I can't say she was or was not, but people are real quick to throw this out because somebody remembers something. But if she really truly was, cameramen filmed it. Somebody's filming this.
That's the part that bothers me, is you said that everybody watched and they filmed it. And then they made you go out back the next day with your RS and pretend like nothing happened. Production told you to go back, or Tyra Banks told you, go back. I know you've been hard. Go back the next day. Make sure you call him and act like nothing happened. These are serious allegations that don't need to be brought up on a documentary. They need to be talked about in the police station. But you don't, what, were there charges pressed? What happened when you told the cops? Did you go to the cops? I don't play with shit like that. You said everybody watched and kept filming. That's a serious allegation, and everybody involved needs their asses in trouble. If I sat there and saw you getting hard and continued to film, that should have been shut down the next day, and everybody should have been arrested the next day. Just because you work on a TV show doesn't mean you get to break the laws. If you sat there and watched this girl get hard and you said nothing about it, it is very disturbing to me. And I blame everybody if that's what happened. Not just Tyra. Jay just said he knew about it. Nobody said anything. What's going on here? That's a serious allegation.
You would blame the network and everybody. So now
The next
that's
day,
almost like this happening to you on your job. It's the supervisors, whoever, producers, whoever around you should be held accountable for all this stuff. And then somebody saying, Perry, you get to be compassionate because sometimes people don't come forward because they're scared. I get that part.
Nobody's not compassionate. Nobody's not compassionate. I said, if that happened, everybody involved needs to be in trouble. Everybody involved needs to be arrested. Like what? They kept filming it.
Right. And what I was saying to respond to that thing, nobody, like I said, I wasn't there. It could have been, but I would think this whole network being on camera, you got all the proof. Now, if I remember correctly, during this time on the episode, she was fighting with her boyfriend. And then people was telling her, don't forget you got a boyfriend. You don't do that. You got a boyfriend. So maybe she did it. I don't know. Maybe he did it. maybe the claim is true, or maybe, and she was scared to say it, or maybe people lied too.
If this
People real
claim
quick
was
to say,
true,
show compassion, that people could have been scared, and a person could be lying. People always leave that part out. But
if
and
this
if
is
it's so,
true,
if it's been
Tyra
years
Banks
ago,
needs her ass arrested. If this
right.
is true, Tyra need to be arrested. The cameraman need to be arrested. Who does that? It's a serious allegation that people should not lie about. And that's what people should be held accountable for. Damn, cutting your hair and putting in a weave when you didn't want one. There's serious shit going on here. And it needs to be brought to the police, period.
Right.
I woke up and was like, what happened last night? And I just sat there and cried.
Oh, I'm dying.
I was blacked out. No one did anything to stop it. And it all got filmed, all of it. There were moments.
That damn Miss J being mad because he got fired. Damn that she put the white people in blackface. This is the most serious allegation that needs to be dealt with by the police. It's never too late. Go to the police now. If Tyra Banks sat there and let you get art and they filmed it, she's scum of the earth and she needs to be arrested. Jay needs to be arrested because he said he knew what happened. And everybody, the cameraman,
Yep.
you don't say anything to cops, but you reveal what happened on a documentary to Netflix. You need to go to the police and you need to go today. You need to go today. They'll know where Tyra is. Tyra needs to be arrested. Jay needs to be arrested. Cameraman needs to be in jail. Period.
Of it.
I was devastated at the time because Shandy was one of my favorites to win. And in the documentary, I love that people are asking this question. The entire documentary doesn't end. It actually opens up a dialogue to many other questions. Shandy says, someone said, hey, how do
This is supposed to be the guy. Let's not sugarcoat it. I'm showing his face because you're talking about it in a public forum. So I'm not hiding it. And still, I'm waiting for Jay Emanuel to say what happened when you went to the police.
you feel about the guys coming over? Well, who's someone? Working on that show for 18 cycles, the girls could not dictate the next 5 minutes of their lives. So I can tell you who the someone was. I know who it was, but ultimately it was a producer who said that. So
you're talking about Tyra, who's a producer. You're saying that Tyra forced her to film anyway. And you want to know why she's not talking to you. You just accuse her of watching a crime go down, of taking this fragile girl and making her film with the scum, the slime, who's still a model, by the way, the next day. And nobody said anything. They just kept going on with the show when this most deplorable thing just happened. She said it was all on tape.
I leave it at that. I considered myself like besties with Tyra. I feel like she knew I'd do anything for her. And I mean, I revered her. It becomes like a relationship.
Tyra was not just in charge of this show and in a sense your boss. You guys were best friends. You guys were bosom buddies. You had sleepovers. You were hanging out in each other's apartments, going over things. Mm-hmm. So that gets very complicated when your friend is now suddenly your boss.
Even before Top Model started, people were always concerned when they saw that level of closeness that Tyra and I had. And a few people tried to warn me and say, look, I know, and to the world, she's saying you guys are besties, but, you know, just watch yourself. And
So people told you, Jay Emanuel, be careful about Tyra because she'll stab you in the back. But you did the show anyway, right? You did it anyway to because you revered her so much, and then you help her cover up a crime.
Yeah.
What?
And then he's
You need to
saying
be in
that.
jail.
Mhm.
You need to be in jail. You put a friendship over somebody being ard when you got fired for first. So first of all, on the show, you never talked about it when you were working there. Then when you get fired, you still don't report what happened, and you're good friends with Shandy and nobody says anything, but you wait for there's a Netflix special. There's blame to go around for everybody, including you, Emmanuel.
Yeah. I mean,
You
because
knew
he
she
just
was hard. You said nothing because I had such a good friendship with Tyra. Bull. Listen, Tyra Banks ain't no worse than any other reality TV show. The shit that goes on behind the scenes, you wouldn't believe. The lying that goes on, the cutthroatness. We know what happened with Carlos King. It's a bunch of vultures that only worry about themselves. So did you figure, since you weren't the one being ard, why bring it up? You're talking about it now. It's never too late to go to the police. You need to go to the police now, today. If you could talk about it to Netflix, why can't you talk about it to the cops?
I early on realized there's a bit of a strange power dynamic here, and I want to honor her as a really close friend, but I don't want to expect too much. And so I lowered my expectations, but wanted to do everything for her. And so the relationship worked in an imbalance for a long time until it stopped working.
Let me say this. I don't give a damn how much power somebody has. I'm not going to sit there and watch a girl get hard and not say anything about it.
right.
Not say one word until Netflix comes knocking. I wouldn't even be able to sleep at night. Not only did you not say anything about it, Shandy, you were still friends with her after the show. You kept calling her, looking for modeling opportunities. You kept going on her show every time she asked. Went on the show about 4 or 5 times. So this whole documentary reeks to me. I don't care what they say. They're upset that they got fired. They said she didn't stand up for me enough. Why would you even want to work with a sleazeball that will let somebody get hard and then they film it? I don't give a first of all, I have the personality. Like, if I would have known what was happening and found out that everybody sat around and watched it, I don't overlook stuff like that. I'm not more mad about being fired than I am about I just witnessed a crime.
Right.
Hollywood is full of phonies. They claim to be each other's friends. They're not each other's friends. Just because I get along with you at work doesn't mean I'm your real friend. People that go into this really think, some people, that, oh, these people are my friends. You've got slime balls trying to sleep with you to make it to the top. You got backstabbers that want to be in your shoes. You got addicts. You got models. And we all learned this. I can't say the name. You got models that become women of the night at nighttime. You would be shocked of some of the women that double dip, that are actresses in the day and ladies of the night at night. It's a corrupt place. So is Tyra Banks a narcissist? She is. But they all are.
Right.
Reality TV will do anything to get the shot. I'm not just watching America's Next Top Model. I covered reality TV for years. I know their dirty secrets. It's a cesspool of people that are after money, power, fame. So for him to say she was my good friend and I loved her so much, nah, she was your coworker that you thought was okay until you got fired.
Yep.
And I'm looking at you side eyes. Nobody's still gone to the cops. Why won't somebody go to the police? You're not that scared anymore because you're talking about it. I think that the Jays are upset because they were full of themselves when they thought they were Tyra's team. They also treated the women mean. They said crazy things to them that didn't get on camera. So don't forget, we're bloggers. We have access to information that you left out. Y'all was partying together. Y'all was doing things together. You thought that was your real friend. Or did you really?
Right.
Hollywood's a dirty, dirty place. And I just feel like you should never mix business with pleasure. Tyra, because she's going on, she's doing the show still in Australia. These are not your friends. So stop acting like it. You encouraged it. You would go over to the house. You would say, what do you think about this? And y'all didn't talk about the things y'all should do with the models. You weren't in on those conversations, Emmanuel? Because I'm being told that you were. Y'all wanted to push the limits so the show will have high ratings. But it's just not America's Next Top Model. Look, on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Kiki Jabbar? Come on.
Yeah.
Hollywood's a dirty business. Perry, what are your thoughts?
My thought is Emmanuel is full of shit, right? Emmanuel is full of shit. This the deal. He wanted us to think, oh yeah, all these people came and warned me about Tara and that she was a backstabber, this and that. But I just loved her so dearly and I just wanted to be there. No. I'm going to put it right here for real. You wasn't even her friend. You was only around because she was your fucking meal ticket. Because the same person you are right now that's trying to smear her was the same person you was back then. You just put it under the category, oh, she's my dear friend. You was sneaky as hell back then too. And the reason why when you came back on the show and she wouldn't look at you, tell us why.
Okay,
you know why.
Tell the truth. You want to start talking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, he's full of shit, and people want to go with it and say, yeah, Tara's a narcissist. Maybe so. I ain't no psychiatrist, but then if she is, all of them were. You know, and it's messed up now. They looking back, and she living her life, and he's still, I don't know, putting a bow on somebody's head and a little makeup, and now trying to clout chase.
I mean, he left a lot. Weren't y'all doing things behind the scenes that nobody knew about? Wasn't y'all doing that? But you only want to tell your part. I mean, Tyra's part. And according to you, you were an angel. Would you visit a former staff or coworker if they got sick years after they were fired? No. Because what I know now is these aren't my true friends. They turn on each other at the drop of a dime. There are things that happen that y'all not talking about. You only telling your part. You only telling Tyra's part. I'm sorry. You ain't telling your part. You got the big head too. You like the power too. I'm friends with Tyra. I can call her up whenever I want. And to this day, it baffles me how nobody called the cops. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. But no, I'm not obligated. This is why you should never mix business with pleasure. I made that mistake. I used to bring people on my panel, pay for them to go to school, pay for their children to go to school. I would bend over backwards for people. I heard Tasha K say one time, this is when I started thinking about it. She said panels never work. groups never work. Like you might hang around this certain group, and then when you get out of high school, everybody goes their separate ways, right?
Right.
Same for work. You can't mix the two. You can't mix it, because no matter how good you are to them, no matter how you keep their secrets that I wouldn't have kept, they always gonna get mad because of the clout. They were there enjoying it just as much as you were. And, I feel sorry I don't want to hear about anybody having a stroke. But people are saying Tyra didn't help me after I was off the show. Was she supposed to? Just because you were on America's Next Top Model, now she's supposed to carry you on her back the rest of her career and your career too? When do you step in and claim responsibility like Eva Marcel did? I heard, Adrian, you have come to your senses, but some of y'all expected her to be your agent after it's a TV show. It's a TV show. So, I'm glad y'all got to vent and tell your side of the story. But, you left a lot out, and it's only a matter of time before it starts coming out in the blogs. It's only a matter of time. And that story that y'all told about her filming it is not all her fault, if that's true. You need to be in some police station right now, Emmanuel, saying what happened. I mean, I've been a victim of that. I fire somebody. I'm allowed to do whatever I want with my business, right? And so now I want to go in a different direction. I'll fire them. They'll sue me. They'll start talking about all these things that I did bad, but they never said it when they were employed with me. I don't understand why every time the party's over, now it's a problem. You said you enjoyed working on the show. No, you became a household name. I didn't know who the hell you were. I'm not into modeling. I didn't know who the hell y'all was. Just some big 6'5" guy in some heels came walking out one day. I didn't know who he was. Y'all became household names. You made the most money you ever made. Don't forget that part. And you're also a co-conspirator because you didn't report Shandy. Let's see what y'all have to say. Perry, what else you got to say?
No, I mean, you're 110% right. Look, people, it happens in every business. And people will say, we was friends. But then when they're complaining after you either let them go or they get fired or something, now they're no longer your friends. They want to come and talk shit about you. How you wasn't shit all these years, but they say nothing while they're on the payroll. They don't say a damn thing. As long as they're benefiting, they don't say a thing. He was just saying, I loved her. Yes, while you was getting a paycheck, but you're not showing me the love today by trying to smear her name with this bullshit. And you ain't telling the full story.
Okay.
Because if y'all went into the bank together and she hijacked it, then and you walked out with and got in the car, y'all both did it together. But you want to just quietly take your name out the equation. Now you a victim.
No, just think about it. Think about what she's saying. She said she was unconscious. They all saw what went down, and it was, she said this out of her own words, it was all on tape. Well, then if that's the case, Tyra isn't the only bastard in the room. Y'all all are. And there was a lot of partying going on. Y'all showing up late. A lot of white substances going around. It was a party atmosphere. And you forgot you was at work until you got fired. And you expected, he said, she didn't stand up for us when we got fired. Should she? Listen, if I'm the boss, see, people don't understand. You got to look at it from, the boss has a lot more responsibility than just the employee. If I'm looking at my numbers and say, okay, these ratings are going down here, because no show stays on top forever, even though it was stayed on a long time. And I make the decision, well, they got to go. Don't put it on anyone else, Tyra. It was you. They got to go. Then that's just what the decision was made. And it might have been a good decision because the show kept going on after you guys left. And I feel a lot of hatred towards Tyra because she fired you. Because Nigel said the show she's not doing now, it's never going to work without us. You need us. No, she doesn't.
Right.
Child, this was, I'm telling you. I say this till I'm blue in the face and nobody believes me. You've got to be cut from a different cloth to make it in Hollywood. Tyra is a bastard. Les Moonves is a bastard. These people are cutthroat. We got a little extra. They're cutthroat and they're not very fond of Black people. Y'all don't look. She might have fired you, right? But did you know what she went through to get the show? And then out of all the people, she chose you to come on with her, gave you the most money you ever made you a household name, and all you could say about her is she's a bastard. I'm glad that group is broken up. Everyone's saying, well, Tyra is going to be exposed and she's getting her karma and what she did to the models wasn't right. But Tyra wasn't the only one. Do you know in the 90s you had to be this big to be a model? Can y'all see this? They called it heroin chic. Tyra didn't start that. Y'all really think she's responsible for heroin chic? She was responsible for taking it too far on a reality TV show. But the whole industry is dirty. Yeah, I keep telling y'all, don't nobody want to believe me. Shit dirty as hell. And Shandy, you need to go to cops now. Don't go on another show. Don't go back on. I'm sure you're not welcome back anymore. You kept going back to her shows when she had the talk show, and you keep going back. Well, maybe you wasn't allowed to go back no more. Now you mad. That's a possibility. Until you go to the cops and tell them your story, I can't say if you're telling the truth or not.
Right.
Because you're saying some serious. I'm not saying it was true. I'm not saying it's false. I'm saying if that happened and they sat up there and filmed that crime, all them assholes need to be in jail. Perry, you want to say anything before I start seeing what they say in the audience?
Too, right? This the deal right here. Like, if this happened, and people go, Perry, you got to have more compassion because that's how people are scared to come forward.
No.
Right. I understand that. And I wholeheartedly understand that. But this time, most people are scared to come forward for two reasons. Because it's something they probably can't prove because nobody else was around, or they don't want the world to know this happened to them. Obviously, we talking about this. The world know this supposedly happened to her, right? Just off watching this alone. The evidence would be right there in the videotape. The camera guy filmed it. That's way more proof than any other woman has in this situation. So we're going to need to see some kind of action. Criminal, not just civil.
Because also too, it might be harder for the public to understand. Drugs are rampant in Hollywood. All of them doped up all the time, cracked up all the time, powdered up all the time. It's just a cesspool of mess. See what y'all think about it. If you have good character and work ethics, so if someone devalues your worth or doesn't appreciate your hard and dedicated move on with dignity and never look back.
Yeah.
Well, I would do that after I went to the cops. This is really bothering me that she said that she was AR'd and they filmed it. And then made them go back the next day and film again with her artist, who's still a model today. Like, we need to hear from him. I want to know what happened. You just can't put that out there and then expect me to hate Tyra and then not ask no more questions. You put it out there. Hey, Eugene.
What's up,
She
Eugene?
says Perry and Sherelle and Perry just got home from Walmart and caught y'all live. Woo! I don't know if you want to be in this live today, because this live takes some self-examination to really think about the things that they're saying and what happened. When I heard Shandy's story, I didn't give a damn about nothing else. I didn't care about her yelling, I was rooting for you. And that was a bigger scene. And then I didn't care about none of that. You just told me a crime was committed. And I'm not okay with that. And you should not be okay with that. Y'all like, yeah, she was really hard. And then you just go on about your business. But Tyra was the worst. No. And you know, I heard the white stuff was going around down there. Is that true? Why don't you start talking about the stuff you were accused of? You want to blame everything on Tyra. If anything, you are accessory to the crime. If you've seen it, you just admit you were there when it happened. And then you didn't say anything about it. And now it's all Tyra's fault? What about the person that filmed it? What about the people who knew? Producers. Who is the producer that made her go the next day? Was it Tyra or was his name, the Asian guy? They made them run up 5 flights of stairs for a challenge and not to be sent home. And some were literally vomiting. Let me tell you something. That's bad. Yes. But have you been watching the E-Files? You've been listening to that? What's going on? What the models did? A lot of models, and no one's going to tell you this but me. I'm going to tell y'all. Are models by day and women of the night at night. And they do that to supplement their income and to make their way up. Have you ever heard of the casting couch? So when I'm saying that everybody's hands is dirty, you got to look at Hollywood as a whole. Tyra ain't the only bastard in Hollywood. As a matter of fact, it's rare to not find a bastard. It becomes their way of life. You know, they'll do anything for the money. They'll do anything for success. Half of them are drugged up all the time. Y'all didn't hear about Kate Moss? Come on. Half of them models are doped up half the time. So running up a flight of stairs, is it excessive for your TV show? Yeah. Is it the worst thing that happened to models? No. Some of them don't get gigs until you spread your legs. Y'all ain't forgot about that. Y'all heard of the casting couch? So yeah, running up a flight of stairs, okay, that's bad. That's extra. But did she tell you got to suck her thing to get on the cover? Did she say that? Y'all acting like Tyra's the only narcissist in Hollywood. And I'm telling you, she's not. And she wasn't the only one at fault on this show. That's why you never believe what you hear. So me and Perry have access to find out what really happened. We have that access. Y'all all was in on it. J. Emanuel, you don't hold no responsibility for the shit you did. You just said y'all didn't go to Tyra's house laughing about some of the things that happened on the show. Y'all didn't do that? I can't. Yeah, so much is happening behind the scenes in modeling. Modeling is horrible. It's horrible. Just keep watching television, and one day it's going to be revealed. I'm talking about the E-Files. Keep watching. Everybody has got something wrong with them in Hollywood. I didn't want to know parts of it. I like what I do right now. I question what has happened to Tyra in the industry for her to be so detached and no accountability. You should question Tyra. You should question Kimora Lee Senage. You should also question Kim Porter, that whole group.
Mm-hmm.
Things went down. Come on, y'all. Things went down. It's still going down. It's just different faces, and we ain't talked about it yet because Tyra's old now. Just fresh new faces.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, there are still people that say, you want to cover? You got to sleep with me. And they'll do it.
Yep.
They'll do it.
Somebody was just talking about they was forced to run up 5 flights of steps or they'll get sent home. So think about it. You know, like in that business, people hold their authority over you and take advantage of it, especially in the modeling industry. So,
oh my God.
And then even doing that, you still might not get your proper props if you ain't the right mixture or whatnot. And I'm sure Tyra went through a lot. And I think half the time she might say things out of place or be harder on some of the Black women because she know if you really want to be in this, you're gonna have to get used to this treatment or you would never make it. And I think she went through living hell in it, to be honest with you. And you know, she wanted to succeed that much that she sustained it and pushed through and did what she had to do, I guess. But go ahead.
The first time I found out that a lot of models have a second job, if that's what you want to call it, I was shocked. I was just like, what? They'll sleep with you. Some, not all, will sleep with you just to get the cover. And they all, you ain't that damn, listen, I don't know, they got Ozempic now, but back in the day, they had to stay thin. Only Janice Dickerson admitted to the white powder. You think she was the only one doped up? Come on, y'all. She's the only one that admitted to it.
I'm grabbing some water. I'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Casting couch and all that are real. Even before Shirley Temple, this has been happening. It's been happening. It's still happening. I wasn't lying to you guys the other day. I mean, it is a lot. But anyway, that's it. Let me see. Take a couple more and then move on. Tyra did tell them exactly what you are saying, Perry. I don't know. Hi, Eugene. He says, you are right, Sherelle. Tyra is old and someone picked up the torch. It's so much I want to say, but I'm not going to risk my channel to say it. But the modeling industry is awful, and Tyra ain't the only bastard in that business. Matter of fact, the 2 J's are, and Nigel, because y'all ain't telling the truth. You're not telling your part. That's number 1. 2, when y'all going to the cops? I'm never going to let y'all get out of that. When y'all going to the cops? Y'all said that they filmed it. Come on. Yacht girls. Okay, so y'all know what I'm talking about. So, you know, there's a blame to go around. And I hate the way that Emmanuel and Miss J and Nigel only told Tyra's bad things. You didn't tell your bad things. And if I was Tyra, I wouldn't go visit you either because she knows the truth. The audience don't know the truth, but your ass know the truth. Anyway, Carrie, anything you want to say before I move on?
No, that's it. Facts. I mean, you're right. I mean, the bottom line was this. It's easy for them to come out there and pile on her and just say all the things she did. Not one negative thing that they said about themselves or why she acted that way towards them.
Never brought it
never
up.
Come out and say it. But go ahead, Sherelle.
And this is not going to destroy Tyra. I think the audience, you guys, we have to admit to our flaws too. We love drama. Okay, so people love to pile on, people love to cancel people. And so, because when I come on this YouTube channel, I'm not talking to myself. I got people in the chat, tell me the tea, tell me the tea. And they celebrate a person's downfall more than they do victory stories, right? So it's going to come out eventually. It's going to come out. And then I'm going to come back and say, I told you so. But right now, I don't want to be responsible for putting it out there, even though bloggers are talking about it. One of them going to talk about it for real, and I know who it's going to be, okay? So I'll be waiting, okay? And then when you tell your story about what really happened, then I'll back you up and say, that's true, I heard that too. But you go through too much when you're the first one who's saying it. And I know y'all noticed. Have y'all noticed, like, I don't want to be first no more. I did earlier. Ain't nothing wrong with being second and third. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so I didn't like that documentary. I think that, Tyra, yeah, you are full of yourself and egotistical, but you're not the only one. And they're not telling their half of the story. And, you should just say it, Tyra, what happened. I would. But anyway, let's, what was... Tyra did share some things that she went through as well. Listen, She was hanging around a serious group. Kimora Lee Simmons married Russell. I think she was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I like Russell Simmons. I like him a lot. He said himself, he used to be an addict, and he did things that he wasn't proud of. That's why his ass over there in Bali. I still like you though, Russell. I really like who you became. But you were a mess and you were an addict too. He admitted to it. I'm not outing anybody. He admitted to being an addict. It's like they're all calling him kettle black. They really, really are. All right. But let's go on because we got more people to beat up on. Let's talk about Floyd Mayweather, who I cannot stand. Okay. Let's talk about Floyd Mayweather. Let's see if I can pull this up really quick. Floyd Mayweather, I do not feel sorry for you, not one damn bit. As a matter of fact, this is just me, okay? I think Floyd Mayweather is, what do you call that? When you don't know how to be around people. Like you don't have a good personality. You're used to barking out orders. Is there a name for that?
An introvert?
He's socially awkward. Let me say that. He's socially awkward. I don't like him. So I'm watching Tasha K yesterday. I haven't watched Tasha in a long time, but I always say I like Tasha because she puts out really, really good shows and she don't mind being first. She don't mind being first. So she's saying that Floyd Mayweather is out of money. He broke. She's been saying this for a minute. She's been saying it for a minute. And that's why he got to do it. Exhibition fight in the Congo in Africa. Now he beating up. Now you want to fight 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Hold on, let me fix this. No, I'm not lying. This is true. No. And he wants to do it because she said that he's broke. And she said that he's claiming that what was Don King, promoter?
Yeah, promoter, yeah.
Al Hyman stole the money from him, didn't give him his money. That's why he's suing HBO. This makes no sense. That's why he's suing HBO to get his money back. And now he's broke. Okay, so he's broke. And Tasha's outing him for being broke. This ain't the first time he's been broke. Now, I live in Vegas. I used to live in Southern Highlands when he lived in Southern Highlands. And let me tell you why I can't stand Floyd Mayweather, okay? He always talking about what he got, right? So he wants to be flashy. He wants to throw it in your face, not down to earth, okay? And you need an accountant, sir. This is about your third time your ass is broke, if this is true. Now you want to beat up on old ass Mike Tyson? He's 60 years old. But you did it to yourself. I do not like him. He's in a position to have a lot of people influence over people, right? But he doesn't. He just worries about himself. He always goes red. He's out there talking about his favorite orange man. He just said some horrific shit. I just don't want to talk about the old orange man. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel sorry for you. Every time you get money, you up there boasting and bragging and taking pictures of it and pretending like it's your phone and throwing it all up in the air. Like, girl, boy, stop. You're clown. You're clown. And all you do is sit around all day and watch the blogs. Because you don't want nobody to tell about you. I ain't forgot what happened to Josie. You spent 90 days in jail. according to the rumors, for putting your hands on her. I remember she did that show and she spoke from her heart about how you treat women. Yeah. You're one of those. So go beat up on poor Mike, 60 years old. You're 48.
Right.
You shouldn't be broke by now. But you're broke again, so go beat up on poor Mike. Go to Africa, have it in the Congo. You trying to be like Muhammad Ali, what was it, the Manila, the Thriller in Manila, something like that. I just wanted to make to point out that you're broke again.
Well, I mean, that's what it sounds like. And like Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul just for some cash. So, you know, and it's just a trip that Mayweather is willing to. He built a good reputation in the ring, but you gonna throw it away at the circus?
What he got to do, Perry? He ain't got no money, according to Tyra Banks.
It's sad when you lose all that money because he always drive around with that Rolls Royce with that bag of money just to flash it, all those gold chains and all this different stuff. But now you're gonna jeopardize your whole reputation as being like inside the ring for a circus shot, basically for a circus.
Not only that, Perry, I don't like men that don't respect women. I just don't. You know, I mean, you got your daughter going around talking about, I don't have to work. That's for poor people. I don't have to work. Y'all brag too much. You brag too much. And you got just as many problems as everybody else. So stop acting like you're above the rest. You have problems like everybody else. You put your hands on women. You sit around watching blogs all day. Shouldn't you be out trying to find your daughter a job? I don't care what y'all say. I believe Tasha K. It is what it is. No, I'm not trying to be. No, I'm telling you the truth. This is reported that they broke, and I don't give a damn. He is human like everybody else.
Yep.
Never gonna forget you putting your hands on women. Like, you know, she's no longer with us. Josie, she passed away in her car from an overdose. But y'all remember that show that she was on when she was talking about what happened to her? Y'all messy. I don't know why, but I wouldn't have went on. So I don't take pictures of money. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. But you want everybody to think you're so rich and you're better than that. It's a blessing to make that kind of money. You need an accountant. And I don't believe Al Hyman stole all your money. But if that's what you want to say, then fine. But it's a mess. It's a mess.
I mean, stealing it all would represent you went to a fight, you fought, you won, and you didn't get a penny. That he just took it all. Then you would have been smart enough to realize you missing a paycheck. Or maybe he's saying over the years, he's trying to find out that, I mean, but over the years, and he said 300 million.
Was it something crazy like that? He made a lot of money.
Crazy. But now, whether you can read or not, you still should be able to count. No. I mean, you should be able to count a little bit. And at the end of the year, you know, even though you're not paying that close attention, you should notice if I have a $10 million it's missing instead of now. But I mean, the things he do, he just go out there and toss his money around. Money can go quick, even that amount.
He's just acting ridiculous. I mean, he's socially awkward. He says, I don't think he knows how to fit in with normal people. You know, he just does weird shit. He's just, I don't like Floyd Mayweather, but, you know, I'm allowed to not like him. And, you know, I'm not feeling bad that you lost your money again. Because most people don't make that money in a lifetime. You're just blowing it. But whatever, you know, and maybe, you know. I'm just telling you, I don't like him. And he know I don't like him. Anyway, let's move on. So we'll just take up comments, which I was say about Floyd. Now, he should have had 3 accountants like Lionel. Child, how you keep going broke? And now here you are, damn near in your 50s, you got to fight again. 50 Cent said you can't read Harry Potter, so read Cat in the Hat. Read Cat in the Hat. 50 a mess too. He stayed in Dubai for almost 2 years, and Dubai is very expensive now. Well, according to Tasha, go watch Tasha. That he was held captive in Dubai because he owed money. That's what she said. I don't know. Mike might give him a run for his money.
With those fights, like Mike was way bigger than him. And it's just a show. Mike Tyson, they're here fighting, Mayweather. It's just for a show, just like with the Jake Paul. I mean, personally, with one leg, I think he should have beat Jake Paul, but it didn't. Most of them just go in there just to play around, get people excited, and they go home with tons of money.
Yeah, but who wants to watch him beat up a senior citizen? I don't know. Floyd was buying everything and everyone, buying jewelry. Okay, putting it on his social media, like, I've got so much money. Look at all this. I don't like Floyd. I don't like people that can make a difference and choose not to. And then, I'm never going to forget you putting your hands on women. That's just not cool. I just asked Google if Floyd broke. It says as of February 2026, he's not broke. I'm nosy. I mean, listen, I don't think you want to fight Mike Tyson just because. But it's up to you. You can believe it or not. That's the rumors that's going around. And, Tasha's always the first one to say it first and then take the hit. So there you go. All right, let's move on to Chrisean Rock. Oh, I want to move on to Clarissa. Let's do Chrisean first. Okay, so Chrisean Rock has had CPS called on her by, what's his name? By a blogger. I just can't think of his name right now. They saying that her son, something's wrong with her son. They said he's blind. They said he is being starved to death. They said a lot of stuff about her son, and they say she's a horrible mother. And when I found out a couple weeks ago that it was what's her name? The mom. When I found out that Blueface and his mother were behind working with certain bloggers and getting them to say things, when I found out that this was Blueface's money racket, is to piss off Chrisean, wait for her to go off, and then they come up and respond to her going off. And they did this racket for a long time, okay? They do not care about, I always want to call him Junior. She said, don't call him Junior, call him Baby Jesus. No, they don't do this to what? Chrisean, I just want to call him Junior. I'm sorry. I feel comfortable calling him. They don't do this to they don't care about him. They do not Blueface does not give a damn about his son. He signed one of the bloggers' petition. Now he made a rap song in which he said something was wrong with Chrisean's son. He just did that today. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, it said he had liquid in his lungs.
He does not. He talks about his own flesh and blood worse than the people that hate Chrisean, right? And he does this because he makes money off of Chrisean Rock. He used to, until she messed up and met, what is his name? The trainer. I can't think of his name right now. And now the gig is up. Okay. And so Blueface is not making as much money as he used to make, being a terrible father and an even worse human being to Chrisean. Because don't forget, Blueface has put his hands on Chrisean before. We've seen it over and over again. She was crazy to stay with that man. But what I don't understand is how people make fun of the baby. Okay. So she went, let me see if I can pull this up. People are making fun of her child. They're saying he got a cleft foot. They said his hair was nappy. What's wrong with y'all? They say everything they can. He can't stand up. So she stopped bringing him on camera. She needs to stop bringing him on camera because, you know, there are a group of people that hate you, that wish bad for you. They don't want to see you do good. They want you to stay right where you were under Blueface's wing. And so you could be humiliated over and over again by Blueface's mother, who's also using you for money, and Blueface. Chrisean looks like she's changing. The routine has been disturbed. She's not responding anymore. She's around good people. That trainer, now I haven't talked to him. I cannot remember his name. He's not just a trainer. He's a person that goes in and helps people turn their lives around. Okay? He is the real deal. She was offered a contract. So it's not just going to be this fight. They're going to bring her through the celebrity fight so she could have some kind of background, because one day she wants to be where Clarissa Shields is, right? She wants to go into professional boxing. And I think this is a good thing. They're promoting her now. And one of the bloggers, I cannot think of his name, called a radio station on air, right? And said that Chrisean is abusing her child. He called a radio station, and we need to get the word out that she's not a good mom, and you know, and the baby doesn't even stand up and doesn't eat solid foods. And he had this whole list of things. She ended up doing an interview with that same news station to let you know just the position that she's in. Chrisean is not going to get her baby taken away from her. At this point, you guys are just harassing a child. You call a child hair nappy, and you're okay with that? She's trying to find God, and y'all got something to say about that? Her son is standing up now and taking a few steps, I'm being told. She was proud of that. Girl, leave him off camera. These people mean you no good. They want to see you fail. They want to see you fall. For whatever reason, being mean to you, as mean as possible, has become sport for them. They love it. They love it when you fall. But I wanted to say, I'm proud of her, win or lose. You got rid of that bum that goes by the nickname Blueface. Blueface meant you no good. Carlissa meant you no good. She's paying off bloggers. Who does that? If they could have, and the blogger had his own CPS record himself. That's why he didn't call. You forgot? Don't make me put you on blast. I just think it's so disgusting how she brought her son on and they just dragged this poor little boy for filth.
Right.
He took his hat off. They said, oh, his hair is nappy. You don't call me. Oh, look at this. Oh, he blind. He ain't even paying attention to her. Oh, my God. He ain't never going to be able to walk. So let me tell you something why I get upset when people talk about Chrisean. First of all, if anybody wants to change their life around, let them do it. Ain't none of us perfect. Let them. I don't get it. You just want to keep beating up on her for the rest of your life. She's saying, I made mistakes. I want to change. These people are dragging her for filth. But I have a special connection with Chrisean. Let me tell you something. Here, let me put this on the screen. Y'all see this little, hold on. Ooh, hold on, y'all. Sorry. Should have had it ready. So you see this little boy right here? This is my son. This is my son, right? My son was born with autism, right? He didn't talk till he was 6. He didn't walk at the natural age. He didn't meet all the milestones, right? Through the grace of God, he came through it. There's nothing wrong with my son right now. Look at him, just as cute as he can be, right? But when I was going through this, We had to put them in special schools. We had to do all of that. Do you know I found a teacher called my son retarded? A teacher called my son retarded. People blame you for the autism. Y'all don't know what's wrong with Chrisean's son. She ain't never told y'all what was wrong with him, if there's anything wrong with him at all. They said that my kid was retarded. There's nothing wrong with this little cutie right here. He in college. He's living a normal life. But y'all want to play God and say that Chrisean kid is messed up for the rest of his life and he's this and he's that. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. When me and Perry had to put him in a special school, tell him, Perry, am I making this up?
No.
How did you feel that day when you started crying?
I mean, it's the saddest thing in the world. Like no parent have a kid and just hope that he be a superstar. At the end of the day, most parents, when you have a kid, you just want them to be functional and have a normal life. When you start to see that your kid ain't progressing the way he need to, and then they set them in these different classes, and when you go in, not everybody got the same thing. And I remember just many a days just going to pick them up and look through the window, not just for my kid, for every parent, for every child that had to go through this. It was the saddest thing. But for people to come on here on the internet, you can talk shit about the parents, whatever. But how can you say you trying to save a baby, but you out here criticizing the baby, making jokes of the baby, right? Kids should be off limits. 18, whatever.
Off limits.
The older you do what you're going to do. But it's ridiculous how they go on trying to peddle this down the road. But all this is just for Chrisean's attention. They're suffering lacks of things because now she don't move by her way. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? I'm glad that girl cleaned up her life and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the baby have a disformity or whatever, and she could have made mistakes earlier, at least she's trying to work her way through it. And you notice they ain't saying shit about the daddy. Besides, he ain't the daddy.
And then he ain't paying no damn child support. So Blueface allegedly brought his new girlfriend, Nevaeh, a car.
Yeah. But so, I mean, all that.
But you ain't went and seen Junior.
Right.
You ain't even tried to protect Junior. You let people talk shit about Junior. You encourage bloggers to talk shit about Junior because you paying them off. You ain't no good gonna come to you, Blueface. None. Or that mama of yours. That no good wanna be famous mother. I could call her a lot of stuff. I really don't like Carlisa. I think you're a clout chaser. What you did to Chrisean was horrible. And I understand why she beat you up. And I'm glad that she did that because you need your ass whooped. Y'all don't care about Junior at all.
Right.
Ain't nobody show. You signed the petition of the blogger that said the baby was blind. Is your son blind, Blueface? Because you don't know. You ain't went and seen him. So Chrisean Rock, we are proud of you. I don't care if you win that fight or lose the fight. The thing is you've changed your life around. And as long as you stay on this straight and narrow, I'm going to support you. And don't listen to what people say about your baby.
Yep. Because she's giving it the effort. You know what I mean?
Because I never treated my son like something was wrong with him. I still disciplined him. I tried to put him in youth football and they let him sit on the bench. Do you remember that, Perry? Mm-hmm. When people think something's wrong with your son, they blame you and then they treat you like you did something. It's a mess. It's a mess. So, Carlissa, I'll see you in hell. You ain't going to heaven. And same for you, Blueface. Now you done took your last money and bought this girl a used car because don't think it's real. You done leased her a damn car. And now it's just you and your mama. Nobody gives a damn. You sit on that stupid ass live Twitch all day to try to make money because you don't make money without Chrisean Rock. And don't get mad because now, what's his name? Lemmy from that network want to work with Clarissa Shields and Chrisean, and your name ain't nowhere on the contract. Yes, there are some people's child, mine is one of them, don't make me put them back up here, that they get diagnosed with autism and then they just outgrew it. But it wasn't easy. First of all, I'm thankful for my son, very thankful. But I took a page out of this lady. She's a white lady. She has blonde hair. Jenny McCarthy had a son named Evan that was born with autism. So did Tony Braxton. There's a couple people who, they say you got autism and they are delayed. It turns into a delay as the brain grows. Just because you have it in the beginning, some people grow out of it. And my son, through the grace of God, he did not talk. He was like Junior. This is what bugs me so bad. He was like Junior. And then one day he just snapped out of it. And I remember it like it was yesterday. He came down the stairs and said, "Hey, Mom."
Yep.
Do you remember that day?
Yeah.
Y'all need to leave Chrisean alone. Leave the kid alone. Y'all gonna make me cry, making me think back what I went through. Now, I went through a lot with my son, but at least I didn't do it in front of the world where everybody called me names, everybody wished me bad, everybody wanted me to fail. These people don't want Chrisean to succeed, but you already succeeded, Chrisean. I don't care if you lose that fight. You turned your life around and you got away from the devils. That's Carlissa and Blueface. You got away from them. That man don't love you. Somebody ring the doorbell. That man don't love you or Junior. And you got to accept it and you have move on. Let me see who at the door. I don't know who it is. I'm not answering. Anyway, so congratulations, Chrisean. Chrisean is also saying that she's supposed to be doing some kind of exhibition. Helping her train Carlissa. Clarissa Shields is supposed to hook up with Chrisean after she fights. Now Clarissa Shields is fighting tomorrow. And she's doing promo today. Let me see if I can find her picture and all of that. But people don't like Clarissa Shields, okay? They say you're sleeping with a married man, right? And even though Remy Ma came on her channel, said, "Hurry up and sign the papers. I don't want to be with you no more, Papoose." She said that. She also cheated on him. She also has a boyfriend, but some people can't let it go. Some people still think, oh, she's with a married man. And now they're thinking, I can't even find the picture because she wore this pink, I hope it's fur, that she's trying to be like Remy Ma now, right? She's jealous of Remy Ma. I don't understand these people, okay? It's a lot of y'all out there. If you tell your husband, "I don't want nothing to do with you," hurry up and sign them papers. You ain't been shit and you ain't gonna be shit. Y'all think he should just stay there? I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to figure out what y'all want because I'm not understanding everybody coming after Clarissa the day before a fight. She's gonna win. I love her attitude. Here she is. She's so pretty. But I will say this. Do you guys think that people become prettier after they make money? It seems to be a pattern here. That I've never seen Clarissa Shields look this damn good in my life. Now, is she trying to copy Remy Ma? She could be. They look alike to me. Like Papoose has a type. I like Remy Ma too, by the way. Doesn't mean I hate her because I like Clarissa Shields. Remy Ma's a good rapper. Clarissa Shields is the GWO. But y'all need to just back up off of her and Papoose, especially now. Let her fight and be the best she can be. And Papoose ain't nowhere he don't want to be. If she's the rebound and that relationship doesn't work out, it is what it is. But I just don't understand people dragging her for being with Papoose when Remy said in front of hundreds of people, I can't wait to divorce you.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, part I get like people say, yeah, but it's just wrong, and we don't like her because she's dating a married man. I get that point, right? But a marriage is more than just, I mean, to me, than verbal words. Like, I'm married, it's your actions, right? And I know people say, well, they took vows, but people take vows to death do me apart, but they still divorce in between before that happens. I'm just saying this that, like she could be a rebound or whatever. We don't know because ain't no guarantee that any relationship will work out. But if Papoose want to be with her and Remy is doing her own thing, now, honestly, they should get the divorce, right? Just for themselves, right? Just to have that ability to move on and remarry one day when they want to remarry instead of staying in this thing. So I'm not sure why they haven't got a divorce because you'll get a lot of rumors out there. Oh, he's dissing Clarissa and he's over there with Remy. People love drama. I don't know what's is true, but like Sherelle said, I actually like both of them.
I like both of them. And
And
y'all not gonna make me pick. Y'all not gonna make me pick a side. I like both of them. And what I love about Clarissa is her confidence. Girl, I was in your live. I saw the girl. She was scared of you. She was scared of you yesterday. Now I know she's talking shit today, but you're gonna win. And thank you for working with Chrisean, and good luck tomorrow. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Let me see if I can put this up really quick. Good luck tomorrow. Listen, you can't take away her talent. Come on, y'all. And I don't know. I've seen a lot of people get prettier when they become millionaires. I don't know what it is. If you can afford better, maybe, I don't know. But people do get prettier. Is she copying Remy? They just look alike to me anyway. We'll take a vote. Y'all can tell me if y'all think she's copying Remy. But anyway, so the girl, let's see if I can find this. Can you close the door? Here we go. Okay, he's not good. Anyway, so she fights tomorrow. Good luck. I think she's gonna win. I think you cannot take away Clarissa's talent. She's good, and she's good for women boxing. Now, by the way, I don't like boxing. I just like Clarissa and her attitude. I can't stand boxing, but good luck, Quote. And that girl is scared of you. Don't let her fool you. She was shivering yesterday. She was shivering in her boots. All right, let's move on. I said I'm gonna do all these things. I'm getting tired, y'all. Y'all know I don't like these long ones.
tomorrow? Because it's actually a fight on the night, Garcia. I'm about to go and see it later.
It's tomorrow, Sunday.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good luck, Clarissa. So we did that. We did Snooki. Oh, we're almost done. We did that. Oh, Candy. I don't want to talk about Candy, but I have to talk about Candy Burris. See if I can find the article. Okay, y'all. The gloves are off. I used to not like Candy. Y'all heard it before. But I'm not mad anymore. I've moved on. I didn't want to see her and Todd get a divorce, but it is what it is. I feel that Candy, like, I like you, Candy. I mean, you're all right. You're all right. You're not my fave, but I don't hate you anymore. And I just can't help but to say that having people in your bedroom, please don't do that no more. Just don't do it for the next guy. I know people do it and they say it doesn't hurt the marriage, but there's a huge possibility when you let other people in your bedroom of that man getting a taste of that other woman and liking what he sees or what he tasted. And so now they're saying that Candy and Mama Joyce, and this came from Todd, is setting Todd up, pulling every trick in the book because Candy doesn't want to pay Todd. He wants to break the prenup, and it's going to happen, Candy. It's going to happen. because you have children now. So did he set her up, Perry? Because every time something needs to be checked off in order for Todd to get more money, he qualifies.
Right. You know, like I'm gonna say this, like at the end of the day, until all this come totally public, I used to always think it was Candy. I was like, well, Candy, you know, a little on that little side of it, right? But then the more I'm starting to hear it come out, he possibly could have did that. Because in the meanwhile, it's like some people go to college for 4 years and get a degree and might not never use it. But if you can
Something's
be
wrong
with a
with
girl, no, for real, yeah, if you can be with somebody for say 10 years, whether you like it or not, I mean, you still got the freedom, right? You got alcohol, you got food, and hell, at the end of the day, it's all free, right? So just do that. Maybe he could have seriously set her up to know one day that, you know, I'll be with her for right now and do all these things that she might want to do, but I'm planning on leaving one day. But I'm starting hearing things that he been out there doing a lot of stuff. I don't know what's true. And it doesn't really matter at this point, but I'm starting to feel that he could have been knowing what he was doing. I mean, it's just like gold diggers. It's just like gold diggers, right? Like gold diggers, no, they willing to do anything for as long as they get paid, right? It could be 10 years. And then hopefully they hope you put a ring on it and then you go bye-bye and they can get it all, right? But maybe Todd did do it.
Candy, I'm starting to think Todd set you up, and it's nothing you and Mama Joyce could do about it. Y'all need to stop with the, you know, I wouldn't call him lies, but how he didn't do this, he do that. I think he's going to be deemed the primary caretaker, and I think, Candy, you're going to have to pay him. I think he set you up. I feel bad for you. And but it's too late to do anything about it right now. Now, listen. So the judge granted your motion. So Candy file an emergency hearing now that she realizes that she's being set up, because she was trying to be civil at first. And so that's going to be March 17th at 9 a.m. And that's when they decide custody. So yeah, Candy, good luck. I think what he's doing to you is wrong. I think that, okay, you made your mistake. You brought people in your bedroom. That's over with now. To even try to be the primary caretaker is wrong. You don't do that to a mother. You don't do that to a mother. That changed your life, Todd. She changed your life, and now you're just looking at her as a damn paycheck, and you're going to go back to that girl. What did they say her name was? You're going to go back to that girl, and it's just wrong what you're doing, Todd. Real men get jobs. Real men get jobs. Real men take care of themselves. Don't do that to her, but it looks like it's going to be a done deal. It looks like...
I'm sure she would pay him nice alimony for a couple of years.
Right.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like at the end of the day, right is wrong. I mean, it's like gold digging. But when a gold digger get to a person and he a sugar daddy, he know why that it's a contract. But when you get food to think the camera guy in the back really likes you.
Oh God, Perry.
No, I'm just saying, you know, he back there looking, but he's filming. He always looking at me. Yeah, because he's filming. So when you fall in love with him, I think they probably actually did have, she had feelings for him, and it's not like picking up a sugar mama. You know what I'm saying?
But he was just getting disrespectful at the end. Remember when he was like, he needed a candy break, and, you know, you gave me the coochie on the first day. Todd never loved you, Candy. And I hate that you're going through this. I really do. After 10 years, and you have to prepare yourself. You might have to pay this man. Sorry, Perry, go ahead.
And that's what she's going to have to do. I mean, but I'm saying, like, hopefully she can get to the point where, you know, where she keep her house, keep the kids and stuff. Sometimes it's best to just write a check to get this fool out of your life. Because the things he want to do is not babysitting no more. He probably want to go and do some humping.
I can't.
What's up? You know, I don't know.
All right, y'all. We made it to my last story. I had to tell this story because do you guys remember Grey's Anatomy and Eric Dane? He has a disease called ALS. And is this it? He left a message to his children. This ain't it. That they got once he passed away. It's the saddest thing. Let me see if I can find this damn thing. It's the saddest thing. I couldn't even listen to it. My heart goes out to him. I know I just recently lost my cousin. Y'all know about that. Maybe this is it. And I know when you know you're going to pass away, you worry about your children. You worry, you just want to make sure nobody wants to leave their kids. And so RIP, it's just sad. Let me see if I can find this. I got to play it. It's so sad. Did you hear it, Perry?
Well, I didn't hear it, but when I was just browsing, I seen something about it and I started reading. I was like, damn, that's sort of sad where he got this disease or something. And then he knew he was going to leave. So he was telling his kids that they got to be strong and just, it was sad.
I got to find this. Hold on, y'all, because it's just sad. I'm sure you already heard it. I just wanted to play it on my channel and how difficult it must have been. Let me go on TikTok. No, I can't do that. For him, this might be it. I can't play that one. That's the full thing. Anyway, the most heartbreaking thing that he said to his children is, I might have not been perfect. I'm going to cry, but I did the best I can do. And so his wife is Rebecca Gayheart. She was a really famous model back in the day. And, RIP. It's just bad. I can't find the thing. And I don't want to go over 2 hours. I've been sitting here for 2 damn hours. And y'all been riding with me. Thank y'all for sitting through the whole thing. Let me know your comments down in the comment section. Let me see. Take a couple comments. It's a terminal diagnosis always. It is.
Wow. Damn.
So sad. So sad. He was in his 50s. Yes, he's 53 years old. Jeez, isn't that sad?
Mm-hmm.
Since your child was premature, what problems does your child have? I mean, you are diagnosed. Y'all need to leave Chrisean alone. I done told y'all how it makes that person feel when you talk about their kid. But some people just, hatred is hatred. You can't listen. He was your favorite, Dr. McStreamy. That's his nickname. Yeah, McDreamy is what they called it. Anyway, you guys, thanks for riding with us this long. Let us know your comments in the comment section, and hopefully I can go live again one day next week. Perry, any last words?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, people. So I don't just walk away from this video just thinking it's me. And don't get mad, ladies, because y'all always get mad when I bring this up. But did that girl get R'd or not?
Oh God.
No, I mean, just from. They got videos. It's on the actual show. You got a cameraman. You got all these women and people in the same house. I mean, I just want to know. So please let me know that.
In the meantime, people, fuck this shit. We out. See you later.
This shit, I'm out.
Bye, everybody.
This shit, I'm out.